Visit Raven734's KO5 page at https://ko-fi.com/raven734 Twitch.
Him as the person TikTok dubbed Lieutenant Dan, the guy who rode out 2 hurricanes in a small sailboat in Tampa Bay, Florida. A few days ago, I made a video covering the story on how he got this life-changing deal, where at the end I said this: either way, he's been given a chance to completely turn his life around, so I really hope he doesn't waste it. Well, he blew it. And I mean, people were placing bets as soon as the deal was announced on how quickly he dropped the N-word, and literally, his first stream, within the first hour, he did it.
But if you want to get back into my good graces, you're going to have to take time. Hey, a lot of work, and it's going to be hard. Once I cut you off, you're done. Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not sure, but the fever is killing me. Loudly crying face.
So
do you have any fever reducer?
Changed since the last time we covered the situation. It seems like Dan, or Joe, which is his real name, is now hanging out with some manager type who looks like an island boy.
Also, I love the art.
Thank you.
I trust him with my life. I just met him yesterday, but I know him in my heart. I've known him my whole life.
Right, he went from nothing to internet famous overnight. Got a bunch of donations and a bunch of followers, and now suddenly people are coming out of the woodwork, and he's now blindly trusting them. Oh boy. I'm sure that'll go over well. So to keep things simple, there's about 4 main people involved now. You have Tampa Terrence, who's the guy who originally found him, Aiden Ross, Lieutenant Dan, or Joe, which is his real name, and somehow, I guess, an Island Boy stunt double has inserted himself into this as well. But Tampa Terrence is the original guy who found Joe and branded him as Lieutenant Dan. This move is essentially what made him so likable to begin with, as people associated this bizarre sailor to a beloved fictional character. Unfortunately for Joe, though, the more screen time he received, the more people realized he wasn't really the Lieutenant Dan character. With his extensive criminal record being shown and his daughter coming out of the woodwork saying the money coming to Joe will likely be the end of him, as he allegedly has some addiction problems.
Lieutenant Dan was doing just fine without all that money. Y'all TikTok famous people and all that, y'all blowing him up, and he's gonna be dead before he can even enjoy that boat and stuff, because look at him. After y'all got a hold of him, and now he's highest on all these videos. Is it just weed? Is it just weed? Yes, I'm his daughter. I'm his daughter, and I've had to keep tabs on that man for 10 years trying to make sure that he's alive, and now he's gonna get all of this and probably end up dead because of it.
And it seems like all of this stuff coming out has caused Terrence to start to distance himself. As soon as Joe gets this kick deal, you have brand new people coming out of nowhere saying this to Joe.
Hey, tell Lieutenant Dan I got a gram for him. I think he get done. Tell Lieutenant Dan I got a gram for him. I think he get done. He's streaming. We had a gram, goddamn. Young pig streaming. People love you, though.
Yikes. A gram sounds like a very low amount if he's giving him the 420.
That's
Odds
how it
are it's
starts,
probably
though.
Something else, unfortunately. Either way, though, something just doesn't feel right about all these new people surrounding him. Would they be there if he didn't get a bunch of followers, raise a bunch of money, and get a kick deal? I don't know. And it seems like Terrence and Aiden have spotted this. So in my last video, we saw Aiden get Joe and Terrence in a call. And this is where Aiden announced that Joe would be getting a kick deal and a new boat worth up to $100,000.
I'm going to be able to pay for a boat for you. We're going to get you a nice boat in the range of $50,000 to $100,000. And we're going to get you a full-time kick deal, which is a live streaming deal where you can stream your entire voyages and all your adventures.
And since that clip, a bunch of new people started showing up into Joe's life. Terrence allegedly gave Joe about $7,000 and $2,500 separately. That could either be from the GoFundMe money, or it could be from Aiden Ross. I'm unsure as of right now. But Terrence decided to distance himself from Joe after Joe made some allegations about him. Joe claims that Terrence logged him out of his TikTok account when Joe handed him his phone. I don't see why Terrence would ever do that, but sure. Then on top of that, Joe is also claiming that Terrence is keeping the GoFundMe money that's for Joe to himself. Here, as we see, they raised about $46,000. But Terrence made a response to Joe's claims.
All right, guys, I just want to get on here to address the Lieutenant Dan GoFundMe situation, as I received numerous death threats and thousands of hate messages and threats to my family, friends, and loved ones. So I just want to get on here and address everything as this needs to be settled. When I first saw Joe and met him, his boat was being swept under a bridge, and I was walking home from school, and I saw this guy who looked like he needed help, didn't know his background, didn't know anything about him, so I went up to him, helped him out, and this is how this whole thing started. It wasn't until a week later, after getting to know him, talking to him every day, is when I made the first video calling him Lieutenant Dan before Hurricane Helene came. It was never supposed to be this whole thing in just one funny video that I posted to my TikTok. People then fell in love with Joe after a few interviews and were begging me to make him a GoFundMe, so that is what I did. The GoFundMe was set at $2,500, and all was to get him a new boat and maybe some money for some food and a scooter for transportation. It was never supposed to get to where it is now. Joe has a bank account, but no identification and no way to get in the bank. I mistakenly put the GoFundMe under my friend's name as a way to get the $2,500 out quick and give it to him and be done with it. I have done all the research and have reached out to Tampa police, who are willing to help Joe get an ID and expedite this process so we can retrieve the other $35,000 in GoFundMe. I have retrieved all the money that was sent to my friend, and I've gotten $7,000 in cash, which will I be giving to him today. The rest of the money will be sent to Dan as soon as he gets his bank account information set. I'm sad to see where this has all gotten to, and I really hope that this can all be resolved and we can all just move on with our lives.
Okay, That makes more sense, because giving a homeless person tens of thousands of dollars in cash sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. Also, I don't think Terrence is willing to commit fraud by pocketing the money, as he seems like a stand-up guy. Why would you want to ruin your life over scamming a homeless man? But the new thing that just happened is Aiden decided giving Joe a kick deal would be a terrible idea, and he would rather give it to Terrence, as he's helping the community in Tampa.
I'm no longer giving Lieutenant Dan a kick deal, but I'm giving the deal to Terrence. Terrence is going to go around Tampa IRL streaming, and he's going to help out homeless people and help out people that are in need. And we're going to give him a budget every day to go IRL stream and give out and bless people. We still want to help Lieutenant Dan, known as Joe, by giving him a boat, but we also want to make sure that he's staying sober and does it the right way. So I'm giving Terrence the deal. Terrence will have the deal. Terrence will be doing IRL streams around Tampa, giving out money and blessing people. I will be featuring a couple of his streams, and it's going to be God's work. So I'm proud of Terrence. Him and I had a really good conversation. He's a very clear-minded person, and I really do like the guy a lot. So him and I will be working together to help people out as well. And again, we're not giving up on Lieutenant Dan. If he wants to help, we'll help him still. But we're just gonna, I'm just gonna put the main focus on Terrence having the deal, and that's that. So if you guys are gonna watch Terrence's kick streams of him going around blessing people, put me in the chat. Hope you guys all follow him.
I mean, that's sad for Joe that Aiden gave him a massive deal. Then rumors started circling around saying that Aiden pulled out of the deal. He reassured Joe, saying, no, I haven't pulled out of the deal. But then later on, he pulls out of the deal. But I guess this is what Aiden thought would be the best move going forward with this. So I guess interesting move, but I guess he thinks this is the best move in the situation. But now, Joe wants to sue Terrence.
Since everybody knows that the GoFundMe page was for me, and that's common knowledge, I'm getting a lawyer involved. Because it came to my attention last night, the way GoFundMe works is once you set it up, people deposit the money into the account, and within 3 days, the money is deposited into your account. So Terrence has had my money now since you gave it. I never got it.
I don't think GoFundMe's that quick, but either way, if you bring lawyers into this, you're gonna run through that 40 grand very quickly. Terrence has already stated that once you get an ID and set up a bank account, he will transfer the money. Get the ID and be a little bit patient before you bring lawyers into the mix.
Terrence is the real bad guy here in my eyes. He's what he did to me. I'm not some drunk off the street like you portray me.
Wait.
Okay. And that'll all come out. Everything will come out in court, because if I don't get the money from Terrence, I'm gonna sue him. And any more comments about me, I'm gonna start suing people for defamation of character, because now I'm a public official, not public, but not that I ever wanted this.
So Terrence changed this guy's life. He got Joe over 500,000 followers on TikTok, an offer for a $100,000 boat, and is actively working on getting him his money. But Joe needs an ID first. Get the ID, and you will get your money. Terrence doesn't seem like the type of person to run off with your money. That would be terrible for his brand, because he is massive on TikTok as well. Overall, it's just an unnecessary headache. But Terrence responded to Joe wanting to sue him and alive.
I don't hate anybody. I don't hate Lieutenant Dan. I wish him all the best. Will I be going over there to talk to him? No, I don't want anything to do with it, but I really wish him all the best. If he wants to sue me, that's great.
This whole situation and reaction doesn't make sense. But now, on top of that, Joe's new friends are now attacking Terrence. So it seems like they might be in Joe's ear.
I want to send a special shout out to Tampa.
Excuse me,
Terrence.
sorry.
Congratulations on your deal, man. This is exactly what you wanted the entire time. I can't say nothing else, bro. Good job, man. Good job. Now back to Lieutenant Dan. Jay, what are you doing for him, man? Can we figure out what's going on with that? Because all that stuff that everybody was saying about me, who was the one working on trying to benefit from it the whole time? You were. Congratulations, you got what you wanted, bro. Let's get back to Dan though, because you made it all about you. What are we doing with Dan? Does anybody know? Are you just gonna leave him at bay? Like, what was that? Does no one see what's going on here? Using a disabled man to get a kick deal is sick.
I don't see the big issue here, especially for this person. Joe, while associated with Terrence, seemed like a good thing for the brand to get behind. But Joe With his new friends and the new way of acting, not so much. But then this guy made another
We have an
video
ad
for
starting
Aiden.
in a minute.
Aiden Ross. I seen your video tonight celebrating about how you decided to sign Terrence for a quick deal. By the way, congratulations, Terrence. I'm not a streamer. I'm an artist and many other things. This is what you wanted, so congrats. It's just how you went about it that I lose respect for. And Aiden, for you to judge Dan and say we just want to make sure he's off drugs or continues to stay off drugs, do you know what you're saying? You're literally judging the man without even meeting him yet. That man doesn't do rugs. He smokes THC, but you haven't given him a chance to even get to know him. You're going off of another man's word. Just because another man is telling you something, that doesn't mean it's true. You haven't got to know Lieutenant Dan, JC's. Let's talk about it.
I don't see how this video helps the situation. At the end of the day, no deal was signed. Aiden got cold feet and he backed out. People can judge him for that all they want, but to my knowledge, nothing was signed. So he can walk whenever. I guess the lesson here is don't take anything for granted. And it's also a fitting situation to drop that boomer line, don't count your chickens before they hatch. But hey, at least he didn't get arrested in Korea like this terrible streamer did. And you can check out that video here because that situation is insane. But if you're new here, feel free to subscribe or you might not see me again. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
I hear a lot better now. Headphones aren't slipping off my head.
Again, to look at some human trash and laugh at them because it's how terrible they are. Today we're watching Muhammad. I don't do this stuff. Abdallah.
Guys, pot up Sammy. But later that evening,
I've never heard pot up Sammy and it mean put the camera on her. Anyway.
Oh, is that what it is?
I guess that's what it is. Hey, pot me up, Dane.
Shoot, he's low on life. You know what I'm saying? Give him that help.
A 3-story apartment building. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What is that?
What house?
Wow.
They just have to come into like a certain apartment?
I don't know. Don't go through the garage though. There's a bunch of cops waiting.
34-year-old Mohammed Abdallah works in real estate. He's married and has an 8-year-old daughter.
Of course he does. All right. Of course he does.
Wow.
Real estate agent, married kid.
Let's throw all that away.
Awesome.
He's making pictures.
Wow.
Of course he does. Oh man, he's got that same necklace on right now. I noticed he had a chain when he walked in the house. I wonder if that's the same necklace as that.
Actually, I need to
gotta have the
fix
chain in the picture. Dude, he probably is wearing it.
Note the distinctive necklace the man is wearing.
There we go.
Now he's at our house, and he doesn't know it's outfitted with multiple hidden cameras.
Oh, look at this. They even got the 3D rendering in this episode. Look
I see.
Look at this. Is like a Metal Gear Solid level. You gotta throw a shaft grenade in here if you're gonna sneak through. There's no way. The one guard's like, huh? What was that noise?
Hey, how are you? Good. Why don't you sit right over there? So what
I love it. I love it. Have a seat, sure. Yeah, okay, yeah. Have a seat, sir. Chris Hansen's here, boy.
And so you just happened to be going by and you saw this blonde woman out there, and she waved at you.
Yes, she waved.
That explains everything, doesn't it?
Oh, and that's it. Makes sense.
Wow.
You're just driving by, a lady was waving at you, you know, and you
Just
came
walked
on
in her house.
It all makes sense. Dude caught so off guard, he couldn't even come up with a story. He's just like, Oh man, what an idiot! This is the house that they usually get people from the beach. I can tell by the terrible decor. Like,
Dude, that is awful. I was gonna say I've never seen that before. Have we?
Yeah, we've yep.
Huh.
Yep. There's been the old man, the zombie old man. Basically, he came up in here.
Did you bring my M&Ms?
He's literally like a zombie. This guy would have killed it on The Walking Dead. Yeah, he shuffled on in. Every time I look at that wall, I think, oh my God. It's my first indication of how dumb these predators are, because they should have walked in and see that and be like, oh my God.
Yo, I'm out. What is it?
Yeah, what is that? Ugh.
And so you just walk right in?
No, not just walk. Just why I ask her, you know, what's this door?
What an amazing coincidence.
What? Chris is just going, that's just crazy, man. Oh my gosh. And here we are. Oh, it's so weird. By the way, all these transcripts and pictures you sent. What another odd coincidence. Yes.
This is the first time Chris really just rolls with it, you know?
He's having a good time.
Really?
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah, sure.
Now it's time to let him know that we know he wasn't just doing some sightseeing and looking for real estate.
He's never seen the show before. He don't know. He don't know, dude.
probably thought he was doing pretty good with those explanations. At that point, like, oh yeah, bro, look, it's just
Crazy. It's just a coincidence. I'll just get out of here, dude. This is awkward. You know? Wow. All right, Chris, let's crush his soul.
I know that you were chatting online with a girl who said she was 13.
I don't know. I checked
You
with
tell
a lot
me,
of,
you're
I
a
checked with a lot of people online. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. It could have been any of them.
Which one, bro?
I got chat with so many.
I just sent that to all of them.
The 13. Usually people that are 13-year-old, they message me looking for real estate. Obviously, Chris, come on.
Yeah.
Is that you? These pictures there?
It looks like me.
It looks like you.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Weird. Oh, what about these?
It looks like me too.
He's like, yeah, that looks strange. These all look like.
What did you mean by that?
What is it? I don't know.
He's like, whoa, that sounds weird. Who said that? Such a weird chat to have, too. Just, what are you doing? Sleeping on my back. Very specific, I guess.
Very specific.
He was at the office,
Chris.
obviously, you know.
Gosh, who does this at real estate work?
That's not me. It's literally just a coincidence that I showed up here and you have pictures
Of me.
Well, here, right here, you say you're in your office.
Oh.
So that's consistent with what you just told me. You talk about...
Oh! Got him!
Ooh, man. I like that face he made, too. Like, ooh. Man, he must be a great real estate agent because he's just so full of crap, you know, and he literally doesn't know anything.
Seriously, dude. I hope he gets tased. Tase him!
This just goes into my continued hate for real estate agents. So when was this house born? No idea. I'm just selling it for $3 million. You want it?
Yeah.
Tell me anything about it? No, do you want it or not?
Right. Dude, that's garbage. What's good about this house? Well, I'm showing it to you, and it's for sale.
Yeah, just kind of here. I just unlocked the door, but I'm going to take a percentage.
Then you say, you'd like to try? She says, might be interesting.
I would never say it to someone like that. Never.
It will be nice.
He would never do that, Dane. He would never. The audacity.
Yeah. But he chats all the time.
He don't know who it is. It could be anybody.
Yeah, could be anyone.
He just goes around driving random people, get them to come into the house that... I think out of all the news we've watched, like, this is the worst story ever, and then they all have terrible ones. This one's the worst.
Seriously.
Pot up Sammy.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on men
Oh,
who try to
no!
meet...
Cover your face! Oh, gosh, they're everywhere! Oh, he about freaking flashed him right there, pulled his shirt up. Who knows who put that thing on him? Oh, my gosh.
Thinking he's going to run, the police come down hard.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, stuck him,
baby!
Tase, real quick.
Man, just shove his face on the ground. He thought about running. You see that? You know, for just a second, he was like, oh, hang on a minute.
Damn! That real big cop right there, all I got was that ankle.
He went for the legs.
Officers find a large amount of cash.
There's 100, 200, 9.
Man, he walked in that house. Ooh.
He was ready to buy that house.
He had cash in his pocket.
3, 4, 1,400.
Inside the interrogation...
Like how I kept that 20. 1,400's had a 20 in his hand. Hang on a minute.
That's all we got.
Creative. All right, so he's lawyered up. He's not talking.
And that unique necklace he wore?
It was obviously handcrafted. And that evening when he was at our station...
There it is, Dane!
Oh,
oh God!
Nice.
Ooh. Well, he even identified himself. Like Chris was asking him, he was like, yep, that's me. Yep. That's weird.
Yeah, he did.
2 days later, Abdallah made bail. He's charged with 3 felony counts. He later pleaded not guilty.
Not guilty?
Really?
Posted bail?
Because he's an Egyptian citizen, his case has also been referred to Immigration and Customs Enforcement